It's been said that age is just a number, but when that number reaches 100, it's a pretty big deal. Tonight, Q2's Russ Riesinger and Brandon Sullivan have the story of a Billings centenarian still going strong and living life to the fullest.
See, that pile there is from the 446 Bomb Group.
Okay.
And then that other pile there is from the family.
Wow.
My mother lived to be a little over 100, but I remember her saying many times, who would ever thought I'd live this long?
Okay, smile.
I've outlived 3 or 4 golf foursomes. The problem is that you lose all your friends. Of course, then you make some new friends. And that's great, but by and large, it's nothing you can do anything about.
Hi, George. It's Gina.
When we moved in this neighborhood, I think it's been about 10 years ago, I met George just from him being out on his porch and introduced myself.
I wanted to give you a call and tell you how awesome it is that you're 100 years old. That's amazing. And you're as sharp as a tack, and you're as handsome as can be.
The way he speaks and the way he communicates and shares his feelings and thoughts are so special.
You're taking him kind of from down.
Okay, so
down
take him
low.
from up above.
I would like to have you take,
Up that high?
yeah,
Okay.
get up high.
Okay.
I think you get the cards better then.
Okay. You look so handsome. Oh my gosh. It took me maybe 1 or 2 minutes to fall in love with him. He's such a great guy. I'm just really glad we moved to this neighborhood so that I could get to know George and have him in my life and our family's life.
It's the neighborhood where George Wallace's story began, where he made memories ice skating at the old Division Street rink, playing football at what was then just Billings High School, and where he's still making good memories at the age of 100, living in the house he grew up in, a historic Victorian built by his grandfather, I.D. O'Donnell, in 1905.
Well, I often think about my grandfather and what he would have been amazed about. Well, I think the thing that would have amazed him most would be all the paved roads.
George is not only the oldest guy on the block, he's also the most popular. Many of his friends have been stopping by to congratulate him on his recent milestone of becoming a centenarian, including a phone call from Jeff Choate, the football coach at Montana State.
George, Coach Choate.
Coach Choate?
Hey, happy 100th birthday. It's pretty cool to know that we've got a living legend, and we can garner some history from you, and it was fun to do a little research on you. So God bless you, happy Thanksgiving, and happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Thank you a bunch.
George played some football at Montana State, mainly to get a little exercise, he says, but he lettered and even caught a touchdown pass in the Bobcats' opening game of the 1941 college football season. It was the last football team that Montana State would field until 1945 because of what would happen just days after the season ended.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
The level of divisiveness that existed during World War II was zero.
Like most men his age at the time, George was soon a part of the war effort. He was first assigned to an office job, but found that uninspiring, so he signed up for pilot training.
There's Nesbitt and Slutsky.
A decision he admits he was having second thoughts about on his first combat mission over Hamburg, Germany.
We turn on the bomb run, and I'm seeing up ahead a huge black cloud. I mean, just solid black. And I say to the pilot, "What's that?" "Flak." I started having second thoughts right away. Why did I leave that engineering job at Wright Field, Dayton, Ohio, to do this? Here's the day we flew our planes home.
George would fly 21 combat missions and was honored with a Distinguished Flying Cross.
And that was the last time I flew B-24.
But his proudest moments would come after the war.
Well, I'd say my greatest accomplishment is my family.
He and his wife Jean spent more than 7 decades together before she passed away in 2016.
We were married for 73 years, which is a pretty good record. We had a wonderful marriage. I don't think we ever did have a serious argument about anything. She was a great mother and a great wife, and we had a great life.
Like the house he lives in, George Wallace has stood the test of time. He stays active, enjoyed one of his favorite pastimes, pheasant hunting, until he was 90, still drives, and still works in his yard.
And then I go downstairs. I mowed my own lawn until this past summer. I found that in the heat of the day, mowing wasn't feeling too good, so I got a guy up the street to mow it, but this fall I've come back to mowing it myself again. You see, when you get to be a wide receiver, you start making touchdowns.
I think one thing that's really neat about George is he keeps up with the times, and he has the internet and he emails. He does live life and embraces life. He's been such a blessing in my life. It's just been really, really sweet that God gave me this chance to have this wonderful friend.
At his age, George has outlived many of his old friends, but he's still making new ones along the way, living life to the fullest, one day at a time.
Thank all of you.
In the house where his long story began.
Happy birthday. Thank you for your kind words. I feel right at home here. I don't want to leave here. The day I leave here will really be the last day of my life. Something I inherited from my grandfather is here is your good health and your family's good health, and may you all live long and prosper. I like that.
In Billings, I'm Russ Riesinger reporting for MTN News.